Erika! Hi, how are you?
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm great. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you. You look wonderful. I can
It's a
hear
light
you.
too much.
Your light is perfect. I probably need to turn my light up a little bit. You look wonderful. Welcome to the Fashion Roundtable.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited to be here.
We are so excited to have you here at the Fashion Roundtable. I know we've done a few things with you in the past, and we want to share a little bit about your brand and you, and give our followers some information about what you do and how you do it. So let's get started. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
I love the big smile. It's wonderful. So tell us, what or who inspired you to become a jewelry designer?
Well, I should say that truly what inspired me to become a jewelry designer, it was the need to find a piece of jewelry that I wanted, that I envisioned, and I couldn't find it. So it just happened by mistake, to be honest with you.
Wow.
It just, I couldn't find what I would remember. It was a necklace with a tassel. It was a long necklace with a tassel, and I couldn't find it anywhere. So I was just like, let's just make it.
Let's just make it. I love that. Ingenuity.
And,
ingenuity.
Came to realize that I'm a little resourceful, which is great. And back then, I remember I went to Michael's, and I bought, here and there beads and this and that, and I just put it together without having any knowledge whatsoever of how to actually do it. It came out very well.
Right. And it just went crazy from there? You just continued? Or
from there I figure, okay, I can make this, so I can make it, but always for myself, right? Not as eventually a business.
Wow. And how long ago was that, Erika?
Oh my goodness. That was like, I'll say at least back in 2001.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And look at you now. Amazing. I see your background. It looks beautiful. I'm kind of eye shopping your
This is my home showroom. So if you ever are in Tampa area and would you like to schedule an appointment and stop by and visit, you're more than welcome. We have alcohol, we have masks, we have everything.
I love it. We're going to have to get all of that information at the end of the interview.
Most definitely.
Definitely want to schedule a visit to the showroom. Is that a recent, or have you always had a showroom?
No, the showroom actually happened last August. So it's almost a year ago. Yes.
Wow.
When I, mainly the way that I sell the jewelry mainly is through different private events or special events, or lately I started to sell wholesale. But I was always realizing that I never had a way. All my jewelry, they were always in cases, like ready to travel. So I thought, okay, why do I do this? I should always have them on display, because I have loyal customers that they keep like calling me and say, when is your next event? When can I see your things? And I thought, let's just have a permanent setup. And that would just, came about a year ago now.
That's wonderful. So since we're talking about your showroom and how you go about things, how has the current state of the world, and with COVID-19 happening, how has that impacted your business? What's going on with you?
Well, it most definitely has been a horrible impact in everyone, not just me, obviously, but as a business, it was basically a big hit, because again, my calendar is just packed with events, and by not being able to go into public places with a lot of people, that obviously, everything got canceled. So I always try to find the good side of all these negative things. And I have to tell you that it has all this situation about the quarantine and have to be like locked down or be able to be in events where like we're surrounded with people. It pushed me to actually develop my website a little bit more, which was something that it was always there in the back burner.
I saw
And
that.
yeah, and then
It
also
looks beautiful, by the way.
oh, thank you so much. It's constant hard work since, you know, most of the pieces are one of a kind. So it entitles a lot of work because once that piece got sold, it's gone. So you have to, you know, create the piece, get it ready for edit it, like for pictures, edit the pictures, upload, make sure that everything looks perfect, characteristics wise and this and that, and then boom, it's sold. So it takes a lot of time just to that. So that was always, yeah, again, in my bucket list, because I thought, you know, I'm doing so many in-person shows or events that, you know, the piece gets sell like it sells like in from one day to the other. So it didn't make any sense to have it on the website. But now, let me tell you, it feels good though, because
you're learning some new skills too, things that you haven't had to
you have no idea. Technology is not my friend, as you can tell. Like I have to like figure this out, like, you know, calling you earlier and see how to even connect. But
we did do that, didn't we?
Yeah, hey, try to do, you know, try to make it work. But yeah, so it was good on that essence. Like, you know, like you said, I learned new skills. I learned how to use I didn't know that I had all this database from my almost 9 years as a company.
Wow.
And I never used them. So I learned how to do like MailChimp, send in like, you know, a newsletter.
Right.
So it was good. And also all this time allowed me to have a little bit more time to create more pieces.
Right. I love your pieces. I love your work. You know, I own a few pieces, custom pieces of my own, and the quality is always so good. And I love that they're one of a kind, and it feels like you always just put your heart into each piece, down to the details. I think the last 2 pieces that I received, the packaging was just so amazing. I had to pull my phone out, you know, kind of like when you go out to eat and you take a picture of your food. I had to take my phone out and take a picture of the packaging, just the way that the care that you gave and how you mailed it to me, and the thank you note that you gave to me. So I really love that you do that. And it reminded me of living overseas in Japan, because they pay a lot of attention to the details and how they package things in store or online for them. And so it reminded me of that little bit of extra customer service. So thank you for that. And if you guys haven't ever gotten a piece from her or ordered from her, you really should, because it feels special. It feels kind of like a treat when you open that beautiful package up. We talked a lot about boutiques and those pop-up boutiques and fashion shows and stuff like that. I want to ask you a couple of questions, but let's start with the first one. What is the first step in your process when you're creating a new collection?
All right. Well, here's the thing. I create collections when I usually, this is funny because it all started with someone that you and I know very well, with Mr. Lacy.
He's on. Hi, Lacy.
He is on. I see him. And I have to say that since he allowed me to be part of the Hot Accessories Week here in Tampa, that pushed me to actually have a mindset where, like, I will say, okay, this is like, because you have to think that I'm constantly creating. Every day I'm making new pieces. So it's hard to actually come up with a collection. Usually, most of collections, they are created on a base where, like, they said, okay, certain amount of pieces or designs, and then they can be replicated, right?
Absolutely.
In my case, that's the thing. It's most of the collections that I even develop, they're unique. They're not replicable. So, but I go back to the Hot Accessories Week because it was the first time that I was literally pushed to think outside of the box and said, okay, you have to come up with like a mindset of 10 different looks with all of your pieces
Right.
at once. So I have to say that most of the times before that show that happens every February now,
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I am like coming back from a trip. We try to, with my family, we try to do at least one abroad trip a year.
Okay.
So I get a lot of inspiration from my travels.
Absolutely.
So I guess that's what the first process, the first step on the process is, like the inspiration. Where do you get the inspiration? So,
Right.
for example, 2 years ago, we spent New Year's in Brazil. So
I love that collection.
the color, the explosion of colors and tassels and shells, and we went to the ocean. We went to Rio for New Year, so we were at the bay there. The fireworks were incredible. The people were happy. There was everything was amazing, and it was
Right.
happy. And yeah, the color for me was the positive vibration that you feel, and things like that. So that's what motivated that collection. There was another one.
See it. You could see it on the runway too. It was a beautiful collection, and I think everybody went crazy. Like it was like it came off the runway, and everyone was at your table ready to buy.
That was a good collection. And also because and then also the fact that I see how I am evolving throughout the years while doing that. I think this is going to be either my 4th year or 5th year with Hot Accessories Week. So every collection, it pushes me a little bit higher on to think how to display it, how to show it, how to present it, and then also the functionality of the piece. Like, for example, this year my collection was, maybe it wasn't as, I wouldn't say as vibrant, but it was all about functional pieces. Like I included since last year this new line of clutches, handmade clutches. So I wanted to make them part of the runway by adding, instead of just making it, as you use it as a clutch, adding it a handmade a strap or like a crossbody. So cell phone chains, like sunglasses chains. I mean, everything that has a functionality besides it being a necklace or a bracelet or an earring.
I love the functionality of your pieces, and I think that's what inspired me to order 2 custom pieces from you, because it's like, I need this. This is something that I need, but it's also really beautiful. And so it served both purposes. The other thing I love about your collection, I'm just going to brag on you here for a second, is your collections and your jewelry just in general. Is a lot of time people love fine jewelry, but they also love costume jewelry. And I feel like your work is like that melding of the two, that you can get that costume, but you can also feel kind of high end and fine jewelry. And so you do that really, really well.
Thank you.
Of course. So I have another question for you. We were talking about the fashion shows and the boutiques and that kind of thing. What's your favorite part about doing that? Is it stressful? Is it fun? Like, what are you?
You have no idea. Every year, it comes to the week before, and I keep saying to myself, "Why did I get myself into?"
Absolutely.
It's very stressful, especially because I am, one for all, and I usually try. Since the last 3 years, I've been trying to incorporate a piece of outfit as well to show the jewelry. So it's been stressful, like me like sewing tutus or making tunics also. So it's like, it's not enough that I was making the jewelry, so I added that stress. But I mean, the end product is amazing. I guess that my favorite part, I should say, it's when it's done. Those 3 seconds that you are on the runway when you see all your models and everyone's clapping.
Right.
I mean, that is
rewarding.
Like, it's just a blink of an eye, but it's just like, it's done. So now you can breathe.
Right.
Sit back all and, hopefully you get all the good reviews and good comments about it.
All that work for just a couple of minutes on the runway, right? It's
but you know what? It is a couple of minutes, but it's just something that it will stay forever. I don't know how to explain it. It's like a memory that will stay forever.
Right.
It's a live event where like I will remember forever that feeling.
Thank you for sharing that, because there's so many people who do what you do, but they're afraid to do those kind of events. And so they may be joining us, or they may watch this interview later. So we want to encourage them to get out there and challenge themselves and grow a little bit and do that. I want to add another question. As a designer, when you're selecting your models for that runway show, what is it? Are you looking for inclusivity? Are you looking for height? Like, what is it that you're looking for as a designer?
When I see a model, when we go to the different scouting events that you know, they usually the company provides, the management, the organizer provides, I usually look for how what the model inspired, that the security, self-awareness, how strong she feels when she walks. I mean, it's not about sizes, it's not about color, it's not about hair. I mean, that's all. It's extra. It's what she can show with her. You know what we say in Spanish. I'm from Argentina, so in Spanish we say she walks with the right feet, like she steps with the right one, and she's secure herself. And you get confidence. That's the word I was looking for.
The confidence. Yes, absolutely. Yes. It says 1,000 words when you display that confidence without saying anything. Yeah. Absolutely. So models, you hear that. These designers, they're looking for confidence. Okay. So I want to ask you a question. One of our followers left a question in our stories for you, and I think they're on, so they're going to get their question answered. Carvalho Naturals, if you're here, hello, and thank you for joining us, and thank you for leaving a question for Erika. So the question is, let's see, what makes your pieces so beautifully unique?
Oh, wow. Well, thank you for the nice words, but
and one of a kind.
Yeah. I guess that my answer to that question will be that I do put a lot of my soul when I make them. So I hope, and I am so thankful that she can see it as a beautiful thing.
Right.
Yeah, I put 110% of me when I make my pieces.
Wow. That says a lot. That says a lot. Thank you for sharing that. So we're going to get into our We Want to Know questions that are a little bit more about you.
I'm scared about it.
A little bit more. We want to know about you and your brand. So a little bit more about you. So tell us, the first one is, who is your designer crush? And it doesn't have to be a jewelry designer, but who is your all-time designer crush?
There's a couple, but I should say that I always goes down to the godliness of Versace. I mean, yeah, I can't help it. The gold, and you know, it's exuberant and ornated everywhere. Yeah.
You're a woman after my own heart. I love that too. It's like editing is like my kryptonite. I have to tell myself, okay, edit. Don't do all of that stuff, Tanisha. So good answer. My next question for you is, what is your love language? Is it words of affirmation, receiving gifts, physical touch, or acts of service?
Oh, it has to be physical touch. I am a hugger. I give kisses and hugs. Yes. So this has been so hard for me. Let me tell you, all this time that I can't, like, every time I see a friend, we don't, you know, it's just not just hi. It's like, come here, give me a hug.
I'm telling you, it really is. And I'm glad that you shared about that, because this COVID really has an emotional and physical impact on us as people who care about people and interact with each other. And it's like missing hugs, right? You miss those hugs and that physical contact. So thank you for being so candid and open and sharing that with us. So as a jewelry designer, one has to go forever. Got to give one of them up. Is it earrings? Is it necklace? Is it bracelet? Or is it rings? If you have to go without one.
It's rings.
Rings, okay.
Rings, though.
Yeah. Why rings?
I don't know, because they're like, I just wear my wedding band. I mean, but I'm like, for me, the accessories are either the earrings and the neck and the arm candy, or the, you know, the necklaces and the arm candy. So, or just the, like a good statement earrings.
Right, right.
So
I like it all.
rings, they're fine. We could live without them.
Okay. You heard it here first. Rings we can live without, you guys. Okay. A woman's wardrobe says a lot. Well, a person's wardrobe, not just a woman. A person's wardrobe says a lot about them. So you're packing to go to a destination. You're traveling. You're getting ready to go, right?
That's the hard one.
5 minutes to pack, and you can only bring 5 items, and you do not know the location. Is undisclosed. What 5 items are you throwing into that bag?
Is that like gone forever or just a vacation?
Just a vacation.
Okay.
I wouldn't do that to you, Erika. Gone forever. 5 items.
Definitely, how would you call those? I guess they call them ponchos, you know, the ones that they're like, but they're like chiffon, the flowy ones.
Yeah. Oh, like a duster.
There you go. That,
Okay.
definitely. Bathing suit.
Okay.
Cute flip-flops.
Okay.
And
You have 2 more.
arm candy.
Arm candy.
That's 3.
That's 4.
Oh, sunnies. Definitely.
And sunnies. You
That's
are
it,
going.
right?
Yeah, that's it. So you're definitely going on vacation.
Yeah. Yes.
I love that you included the arm candy and the sunnies, right?
Oh, you need those. Otherwise, it's like naked. You can't,
Right.
you know.
Plus, you don't always have to do makeup. You throw on a good pair of sunnies,
You're done.
you're good to go, right? I love that. Okay, so that's enough for our We Want to Know questions, but I would like to know how you would describe your brand in 3 words only.
Ooh, 3 words only. Okay. Let me think about this. Just 2 seconds. I'll say definitely elegant.
Yeah.
Classy and versatile.
Love it. Great
Yeah.
descriptive words. If you guys are looking for that, go to the website right now. You will definitely find something that you can't live without. So, community, you talked about the physical touch and being with your friends. Community and staying connected is a big part of owning a business. So how is it that Erika Williner Designs gives back to the community?
If you get to see on, well, most of these events that I attend or I'm part of it, they that you will see mainly on my Facebook page, because the Instagram is not letting you do calendar events, right? But if you see, there's like, I don't even remember how many there were last year, but most of them, I'll say probably 90% of them, they're all charity events where, like, you know, part of like either my fee to be part of that event or a percentage of the sales go to a certain charity.
Right.
So that's the biggest way for me to do that, to give back.
Wonderful. And that's important for you. I've been on your website and I've followed you for some time now, and I can see it's important for you.
Yeah, because I mean, that's literally, yeah, I mean, I haven't found like one specific cause that I would like to partner up. That was always my goal. When I started the company, I always thought to partner up with like one charity organization to continuously give to them back. But then I thought, you know what? There's so many that they need
so
help.
many.
So I do look for like events that they do, definitely part of their profit, I should say, goes to, or whatever they're collecting goes to help a cause, or sometimes was a person directly, you know,
Right.
like a fundraiser for just like a family that they were going through some hard times.
Right.
Yeah, there's a big event that I do every year, which is it's benefiting redefining refugee, which is for like children's trafficking.
Right.
You know, I have a 8-year-old daughter, so that cause, everything related with children, is very special to me. I mean, it touches me directly.
Right.
And then when I started the company, one of the reasons why I started to make jewelry was because I had a high risk pregnancy.
Okay.
So I was at home, and I always thought I should partner up with, like, you know, Hope or any of those charity organizations that they do help women that they were like not as lucky as me that I could stay home. They actually in the
Right.
hospital, away from their families, and you know, they need help in one way or another.
Right.
But yeah, that's something that it's definitely on the bucket list, and you know, little by little I will be integrating things like that they're in the back of, you know, in my plan.
Well, thank you so much for sharing about that, because I do think that giving back is important. And I'm a child advocate myself. I work with children and youth, so that's important to me too. And I always like to hear about companies that are doing that, because I think that you grow faster and people realize where your heart is at. And when family is important to you and taking care of other people. So thank you for sharing that. So what advice would you give to someone just starting out in our industry? And it could be anywhere in our industry. You've got a little wisdom and you've got some gems over the years now. What advice would you give to someone just starting out?
There's two things that I will definitely, if someone comes to me like this, they're saying like, I wanted to make this a business and I wanted to grow it and this and that, I will say to her, don't be stubborn, that realize that you need help and accept help.
Okay.
Because this is like live and learn. I wanted to do it all until you realize that you can't, because then you ended up having flaws in everything. Right. So focus in what is your priority and delegate the rest. And the other big advice that I will say is like, if you go through this, like the planning and starting and doing, and you say, oh, I got it, it's all good, and you're not afraid, there's something wrong in there. It's terrifying.
Right. Little healthy fear goes a long way, right?
It is. If you don't move, nothing happens. So don't be afraid, and be afraid.
Don't be afraid to be afraid. I love that. And it's really smart. That's great advice, Erika. Thank you for sharing that with us. And lastly, what's next? What's next for you, Erika? And where can our followers or viewers connect with you? How can they reach out to you? How can they place an order with you? And what do you have coming up?
Let me tell you. Well, my big thing coming up this year, which because of COVID was all shifted, it is to be, I'll say 50% wholesaler. Like I was focusing on selling to boutiques, and then be a little bit more exclusive on which event I will want it to be present, like, or be, you know, selling my pieces in person. So I am in August on the next Atlanta Apparel Market. I will be there as a wholesale vendor. Wonderful. Which is terrifying, like I was telling you about. It's like, yeah. And I'll be competing with brands that they are humongous. So it is a big challenge, and I'm ready to take it though. But
for the challenge.
So that's my big thing this year. And then regarding of where they can find me, well, there's always my website, which is my name and my last name is erikawillinerdesigns.com.
Okay.
There's also my Instagram, same handle, Erika Williner Designs, same than Facebook. They can always check my Twitter. I'm not that active though.
Let them know. You made it easy for them.
But I am in everything. Twitter, they're all the same handle. And then the last one, which one? I'm missing one. Oh, I'm forgetting LinkedIn. That's the LinkedIn. LinkedIn, I try to do all this, the media and all of the, you know, it's not so much for sales, but it's more for networking.
Right.
So yeah, and I don't remember the other question though.
That was it. You answered it.
Oh, okay.
You answered it. You told us where to connect and you told us what was up next for you. We want to wish you the best at that next big step. Wonderful, amazing growth for you, and we're so excited to see it. And thank you for always sharing and partnering with us here at the Fashion Roundtable and at the fashion movement as well. We always want you to be part of things, so we'll be in touch. I know you're going to become more selective, but remember, keep us on your.
One of the things that I consider myself a loyal person. So those are I will never forget the things or events or people that were there to help me. Yeah. And I will be there for them unless that I can walk.
Well, we love you. Thank you again for joining us tonight. And we have one special treat that you're going to share before we close out. Turn on your listening ears, you guys.
So I wanted to thank to everyone that was today on the live and watching and sending the questions and being part of this. So I wanted to give you guys a little code for a discount. So you can go shop and find your favorite piece. So you can use, let me see, it's FRT, Fashion Roundtable 20. So FRT 20, that will give you a 20% off on your entire cart.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. And make sure you guys jump over to her page. Follow her if you don't already follow her, and get to that website and use that coupon code FRT20 for a 20% off discount. Thank you so much, Erika. We really appreciate you, and we wish you all the best.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm very blessed to be here, and you've been darling. Thank you. You made it so smooth. I was so nervous at the beginning.
Well, you don't look nervous at all, and you always look beautiful, and so thank you again. You did that. You did it, girl. Bye, Erika.
Thank you. Goodbye.